Good morning, dear students. In my previous class, I had discussed letter writing. Do you remember? How many types of letters are there? How many? There are two types of letters. Which are those? Formal letters, informal letters. What are informal letters? Do you remember? Informal letters means we write to friends, relatives, like this. Informal letters are written in a conversational style, means how we speak in our day-to-day life. How you speak with your friends or with your relatives. Therefore, these are also called as friendly letters or personal letters. But when you write formal letters, we cannot use conversational style. We have to use formal style. Formal style means how you speak in schools, colleges, offices. When you speak in offices or when you speak with your teachers, you cannot speak the way you speak with your friends. That is formal style. Therefore, formal letters are also called as business letters or professional letters. Then when we write informal letters, we can write in any length. It can be of any length. But when we write formal letters, we should not waste the time of any people who read these letters. Formal letters should be very simple. They should be to the point, so they have to be precise. Did you understand these two? These we had discussed in the previous class itself. Now we will go for formal letters and informal letters formats. Compare these two now. Left side, I have given the format of a formal letter. Right side, I have given a format of informal letter. What is the difference? See, in the formal letters, we have to write sender's address first. What we need to write? Sender's address. Then we have to write date. Then to address. To address to whom you are writing the letter. You have to write down there. Then you have to address the people whom you are writing. If it is a female, you have to write down Dear Madam. If it is a male, you have to write down Dear Sir. So this is called as salutation. What do you call it as? Salutation. Then we have to write down subject in one line. This has to be in one line. Then this is the body of the letter. After that, you have to go for complimentary clause. You have to write down thank you. Then you have to write down yours sincerely, or you can also write down yours faithfully. This is called as subscription. What do you call it as? Subscription. Then below that you can sign, and below that you can write down your name. This is the format of a formal letter. Now we will go for the format of informal letters. In informal letters, do you remember? We had written sender's address first. Then we had written date. Then salutation, where we had written Dear and then name of a friend or a relative. This is the name. Then this is the body of the letter. Then we had written subscription. That may be yours affectionately or yours lovingly. You can write down. Then you have to sign here. And then you write down your name. Did you get these two formats now? Compare these two. In my previous class, I had given you some samples of informal letters. Now we will take the samples of formal letters. First, I have given leave letters. I have given 3 different ways to write down leave letters. First one, this is a kind request for you to grant me 3 days leave. You have to write down from which date to which date. As I am suffering from fever, kindly grant me 3 days leave. We'll go for the second way. I am writing to request you to grant me 3 days leave from dash to dash. As I am not feeling well, kindly grant me 3 days leave. Another way to write down. As I am down with flu, I cannot come to school for 3 days. I request you to grant me leave of absence from school for 3 days from today. I hope you have got an idea of a leave letter. Write down yourself now. We will go for another example. Write a letter inviting a prominent citizen to address your school on Independence Day. So what you have to do? You have to address a prominent citizen. You have to invite that person to your school to speak on Independence Day. I have given only the body of the letter. You should write down the format. So first you need to write down from address, where you need to write down cultural secretary, students association. Below that you have to write down the name of the school, then the name of the place. And below that you have to write down date, right? And below that to address. To address to which person you are writing. So maybe like Dr. Patil and his address. And then we have to write down the body of the letter. Here I have given an example. As Cultural Secretary of the Students Association of our school, it is my privilege to invite you to address the staff and students of our school on this year's Independence Day. In addition to being a very well-known scientist, you have been keenly interested in educational reform and students' welfare. You have been associated with our school for many years. We all are interested in listening to you. Hence, on behalf of the association and on my behalf, I request you to address on this Independence Day at 8 a.m. We would be grateful to you if you could kindly accept our request. This is the way I have written. Try to write by yourself now. Shall we go for the next letter? Write a letter to the principal of your school requesting to grant permission to organize a sports event in the school. So in from address, you have to write down your name, You can write down your roll number, class, school name and address. Then you have to write down the date. Then to whom are you writing? To the principal. Below that you have to write down name of the school. Then you have to write down dear madam or sir. Now we'll go for body of the letter. Body of the letter goes like this. We would like to organize a sports event in the school premises for the students of our school. We would like to include various track and field events as well as sports like basketball, badminton and kabaddi. It would be extremely kind of you to grant us permission to organize this event. I have given you 3 samples here and you try to write different types of letters.